here. We're going to start by getting centered. So go ahead and slide to the back of your chair. Have your feet flat on the floor, and you can relax back into your chair if you'd like to. And if you want to, you can close your eyes and just settle in, settle in. Feel your body become heavy, your arms hanging at your sides. Feel your jaw loosen. Relax the belly, relax your eyes. Bring your awareness to your breath. The flow of breath in, the flow of breath out. And then begin to make your breath just a little bit bigger. Slowly drawing in more air as you inhale. And pushing out just a little bit more air as you exhale. And it's as if we're starting to rouse the breath, waking you up, drawing you present, pulling you into the present moment. Big inhale, big exhale. Big inhale, big exhale. Good. One more big breath together, in and out. Good. And then slowly allow the eyes to open, bringing yourself back to the present moment. Welcome back. And go ahead and slide to the edge of your seat. Good. And have your feet stacking underneath your knees. Your knees are about hip width apart to get started. And we're actually going to start with some neck rolls. All right. So just allow your shoulders and your arms to hang heavy. And then allow your right ear to fall to your right shoulder. Then bring your head back up and then allow your left ear to fall to your left shoulder. And back up. Just continue to teeter-totter the head gently from side to side. Just beginning to bring some movement to the neck and to the tops of your shoulders. And you might feel some tension here. Just breathe. You might notice that one side of the neck feels looser, one side of the neck feels tighter. Side to side, breathing. Good, and then we'll move into the next part of this exercise. So bring an ear to the shoulder. Go ahead and roll the chin down to your chest and bring the opposite ear to its shoulder. Then reverse that. Drop the chin down again toward the chest. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder or other ear to the other shoulder. Just make these half moons. Ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, and chin to chest. Keep moving and feeling the stretch in the back of the neck along with the sides of your neck. Just inviting some of that tension to start to loosen up a little bit here. Again, certain parts of the neck might feel tight or sore, and certain parts of the neck and shoulders might feel open. Just keep moving regardless, keep breathing regardless. side to side. Let's do a couple more. Every time I get into this practice with y'all, I just want to keep doing this forever. And so if you feel the same, know that you can come back to this practice anytime you need to. Rolling from side to side. But then I go ahead and let your chin drop down to your chest. Stay there for just a moment. And then lift your head up to center. Good. Welcome back. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some more stretching for the sides of the shoulders and neck here. So I'm going to ask you just to slide back in your chair about halfway so that when you drop an arm down, you can hold on to your chair cushion, the side of the chair here, and do that with your left hand for now. Just get a nice grip there. And you're not going to lean too far, but I want you just to lean to the right, feeling that arm traction out of the shoulder joint and allowing the right ear to drop to the right shoulder. And you'll feel this big continuous stretch from behind your ear, down the neck, down the shoulder, and also into the arm and hand. Again, only lean as far as you can to the point where you feel the stretch. You don't have to force yourself to the right here. Good, and then sit back up. Release that grip with the left hand. Notice the difference between the two sides, even from a little bit of stretching. And then we'll balance it out. So bring your right hand down to the chair cushion next to you. Get a nice firm grip there. And then just lean gently to the left, tractioning the arm out of the shoulder joint, feeling the left ear drop to the left shoulder. And again, you get this big continuous stretch from high up into the neck, behind your ear, down the neck, down the top of the shoulder, and down into the arm and hand. Breathe. Good. All right. With your next inhale, sit back up and release. Good. Now our necks feel nice and long, and we'll do some spinal flexes next. So keep facing forward, sitting tall, and you can slide back to the edge of your chair as well here so that you have to sit up tall. Good. And with your inhale, roll the shoulders down the back, look up at the chest, and then exhale, roll the shoulders down and forward, look down at your lap. Then inhale, look up, and exhale, roll to look down. Feeling this movement in the upper back. This area of the body gets really, really tight. So it might not feel like a lot of movement at first, but if you keep moving, you'll gain some flexibility and mobility in this upper spine. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, rounding. We'll go for just a little bit longer here, breaking up some of the stuck tissue that just gets kind of stuck around the chest and upper back and in the shoulder joints. Especially as you open up, there is a stretch in the front of the neck as well. Inhale, opening up, exhale, rounding. We'll do a few more times. And the next time that you inhale, just come to a neutral spine. Good. Feeling sensation. That exercise often has a stimulating effect to your nervous system, waking you up a bit. All right, so let's do a little bit more work for your shoulders. So go ahead and take your left arm into the air. Many of you know this one, and drop the left hand behind your head. Your right hand comes up and grabs the forearm or the elbow and pulls it toward the center line of your body. Good. Now there's a free hand behind you, your left hand. You're going to bend your elbow deeper and bring that hand toward your spine as much as you can. And sometimes when we do that, that causes the back to start to round forward. Try to lift the chest as much as you can and then breathe. Breathe into this sometimes uncomfortable pose. It's okay that it's uncomfortable. We're going to get a big release out of this, but you got to stay and you got to breathe. This is one of those exercises that I hate to love to do, love to hate to do. It's a mixed relationship. But I always get something out of it. I always get a good release here. So we're gonna stay for about maybe 10 more seconds. And then don't drop the arm. You're gonna slowly release that left arm down, letting it unfurl at your side, and then feel sensation there. There's some warmth. If you look at your hands together, you might see that there's like your left hand, there's more circulation to it. There's more blood flow to it. The shoulder feels a little bit more open as well. At least that's my experience. So let's see what this feels like on the second side. So lifting your right arm up into the air. Again, bend the elbow, bring the hand behind your head. With your opposite hand, reach up and grab the forearm or the elbow and pull it in toward that midline of your body. And then the free hand behind you, bend the elbow deeper, bringing it toward your spine, and lift your chest. And we're breathing again. Always breathing. Especially if you find this uncomfortable, really sink into that breath. Really be aware of it, aware of the inhale, aware of the exhale. Don't clench your teeth. You're like, how did you know it's clenching my teeth? I just know. I just know. Keep with it. You might notice a difference in sensation on this side. Maybe the side feels tighter or more open. Usually the side of the body that is your dominant side or hand that's your dominant side. So if you're right-handed, this is going to be maybe a bit tighter than the other side. Maybe. If you're left-handed, it's possible the worst is over. But we're going to stay for about 10 more seconds regardless. Good. One more big breath. Good. And then don't drop it. Slowly let that right arm unfurl next to you and feel sensation. Letting that circulation back in, noticing everything that comes along with that release. All right, let's do a little bit of twisting. So still sitting on the edge of your seat, heels stacking underneath your knees, knees hip width apart. I'm going to ask you to take your left hand, bring it across the outside of your right thigh. Your right hand can come onto the chair cushion behind you or the chair back behind you. Either way, sit up nice and tall, take a deep breath in. With your exhale, roll the right shoulder back, look behind you, feel your navel pull into the body and twist with you to the right, and breathe. And even though we're holding the pose, there's still some micro movements you can make to begin to deepen into this posture. So staying in the pose, sit up a little bit taller, feel the spine lift toward the ceiling, And then exhale, twist just a little bit deeper. Have the intention of rolling the right shoulder back a little bit more, especially at the beginning here. Good. With your next inhale, carefully unwind back to center. We're feeling a little imbalanced right now, so we're going to make sure that we balance that out. So take your right hand across the outside of your left thigh. Take your left hand onto the chair next to you or the chair back behind you. Either way, sit up nice and tall. Take a breath in and exhale, twist. Rolling that left shoulder back, turning your head to look behind you, and feeling the navel pull into the body and twist with you to the left. And again, even though we are holding the pose, does not mean we're not working in the pose. So with your inhale, sit up a little bit taller, and exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Breathe. And with your next inhale, carefully unwind, come out of the spin. Good. And then we'll come into a symmetrical pose, just folding forward over the thighs for a moment. And your hands can stay on your knees or thighs. You could also hang your arms toward the floor. And with your next inhale, carefully sit on up. Good. All right. So for our next exercise, I'm going to have you take your knees and feet into the wider position. And so we're still on the edge of the chair, and the knees are just a little bit wider than your shoulders, heels stacking underneath the knees, toes pointing outward. So if you lean from side to side, you don't fall over. So give that a try real quick. And if you need to widen or narrow your stance to be stable, make that adjustment, okay? And I'll quickly demonstrate what this next one looks like because it's something new because I invented it this morning. Try to be a creative with this one. So I'm gonna have my hands just on my thighs like this, and my fingertips are pointing inward slightly so that my elbows can bend. That's gonna come in handy here. And I'm gonna fold forward. And then I'm gonna start to make these circles with my spine where I sit up, come to the other side, and roll down. So I'm just making these spinning circle-y things like this, just moving around. And this can be a huge expression. It can be really big. You can get into it if you want to. And also it could be something a bit more subtle. Okay. And we're going to go in one direction for a little while, and then we're going to switch. All right. So your turn. Have the knees wide. Take the hands onto the thighs, fingertips pointing inward so the elbows can bend. And then just start folding forward. And don't think about it. Just start to move in a direction, whichever direction kind of feels like yours. And just start to make these movements, lifting up one side, rolling around and down the other. And you might want to keep it a more subtle movement. You may want to start to make it really expressive, really kind of spinning out more. There's really no wrong way to do this, just moving in a single direction for now. Just helping to move some energy around. It's also giving a little bit of massage to the abdomen. Hopefully you didn't eat too much before you came here today. We're getting into the shoulder still, creating mobility in the wrists and elbows. Keep breathing. 3, 2, and 1. Go the other direction, moving the other way. Go slow with it at first. Sometimes when we switch directions like this, it starts to feel a little kind of woozy. And then find your expression in this direction. It might be big, it might be slow or smaller. Breathe. There's also a little bit of movement in the hips here. It's a nice one for the whole body. Good for the whole family. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. Come into the fold. Stop and center. Notice sensation. Then inhale, sit up. Stay still for a moment. Breathe, feeling again, sensation. And then bring your awareness on back. Welcome back. So that one is just a really good one to get the entire body really going for you. I'm going to ask you to bring your feet and knees closer together into the narrower stance here, still sitting on the edge. Now, kind of figure out how I want to do this one. I want your legs to be relaxed. Okay, and so if you can have the legs be completely relaxed, the heels stacking underneath the knees, just stay where you're at. If you feel like you need to extend the legs forward for the legs to really relax, do that. Because what we're going to do is some percussion massage for the quads or the quadriceps, which is the tops of the thighs from the hip to the knees. This area of the body gets very tight when we sit for a long period of time, and you might notice that here in just a moment. So we're just going to make fists like you're holding a mug, and you're just going to start to lightly tap on your quads. And so just moving the fists forward toward the knees, not the knee joint, just toward the knees, and then back toward the pelvis. Now I'm starting with just doing this percussion straight down the midline of the thigh. You can also take it to the outsides, maybe down by the hips as well here. This can be hard, it could be lighter taps, it's really up to you. And we're breathing. Nice percussion massage. I'd like to throw something in new for y'all sometimes. And self-massage is one of those things that like we don't think about very often, but it can have a huge effect on our bodies, huge effect on our moods. You're feeling, kind of down or disconnected. This is a great way to kind of reconnect to your body a little bit more if you're anxious. Let's go for another 10 seconds or so. Good. And brush it off. And then just feel sensation for a moment. You might feel something in your hands, of course, but like you might feel like relief or circulation or warmth or blood flow to the thighs. I feel better. Good. And bring that in anytime you want to. It's great to do for the thighs, the tops of the thighs, the quads here. It's something great to do for the lower leg as well. Maybe we'll throw that in another time. Okay. So just a couple more exercises before we meditate. So with your inhale, roll the shoulders down the back, turn the heart toward the ceiling. Let's stay for 3 breaths. Deep breath in and exhale, hinge at your hips and fold down over those thighs. And with your next inhale, sit back up. Great job. All right, let's spend the last few minutes we have together in meditation. So please slide to the back of your chair and make yourself more comfortable. Feet on the floor if you can, eyes closed or lowered. Starting off by just noticing sensation. What is happening in the body? How does it feel in the body after this practice? You might still feel the tops of your thighs from that percussion massage. You might feel certain parts of your back body from the spine rotations we were doing. Maybe there's still this idea that there's a long neck that you have from stretching the neck and shoulders. And then bring your awareness to your breath, flowing in and out. And just see if you can relax all the effort around breathing, making that instruction a bit more nuanced here. Notice it feels like you're efforting on your inhale. If there's some pull of breath in, and see if you can relax that tendency to pull the breath in. And then on your exhale, notice if there's any tendency to either hold the breath in or push the breath out. And see if you can just relax that tendency. Relaxing the effort on inhale, relaxing the effort on exhale. And when you think you've relaxed the breath enough, relax the breath again. Right. So, consciously, when you're ready, take a deeper, fuller breath. And bring your palms together and rub them together. And go ahead and take those warm palms over your eyes, brushing over the top of your head and down the neck, bringing yourself back to the space around you.